Did you ever have that feeling walking home at night that you weren't alone? Like something was lurking just out of sight, hidden in the shadows? This is the story of a boy named Jake, who experienced just that. It was a chilly autumn evening and the sun had just dipped below the horizon, leaving the streets cloaked in twilight. Jake had just finished his shift at the local diner and he started his usual walk home. The leaves rustled in the wind and the streetlights flickered, casting long, eerie shadows along the pavement. As Jake turned onto a narrow alley, he couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. He quickened his pace, but his footsteps echoed, sounding louder than they should in the empty street. He glanced over his shoulder, but saw nothing, just darkness staring back at him. Then he heard it. A soft, almost imperceptible sound, like footsteps matching his own. He stopped, and the sound stopped too. His heart pounded in his chest, echoing in his ears. He told himself it was just his imagination, but deep down he knew better. Jake took a deep breath and continued walking, but the feeling of dread grew stronger. Suddenly a cold gust of wind blew past him, carrying with it a whisper that sent chills down his spine. "Jake," it seemed to say. He spun around, but there was no one there. His pace turned into a jog and then a run. He could hear the footsteps again, faster this time, and closer. Panic set in, and he sprinted down the alley, his breath coming in ragged gasps. He could see his house up ahead, a beacon of safety. But just as he reached his front yard, he felt a cold, clammy hand on his shoulder. He turned around, and there, standing in the darkness, was a figure, tall, shadowy, and menacing. Its eyes glowed with a sinister light, and it smiled, revealing rows of sharp, gleaming teeth. Jake screamed and bolted for his front door, fumbling with his keys. He could feel the presence behind him, feel its cold breath on his neck. Finally, he got the door open, slammed it shut and locked it. He pressed his back against the door, panting, as the footsteps outside slowly faded away. Jake never walked home alone at night again. And every time he passed that alley, he couldn't help but shiver, remembering the night he was stalked in the darkness. So next time you're out after dark, remember Jake's story. Because sometimes the things that go bump in the night are all too real. Stay safe out there.